During the first phase of their journey, Franklin Academy students stepped into the ancient and vibrant land of Longhui County in Hunan. With a thirst for knowledge and a heart full of dedication, they ventured deep into the countryside, engaging in a series of impactful projects, from understanding the traditional craft of Métis to helping local farmers overcome market barriers. Using their wisdom and creativity, they opened up new sales channels for Métis, transforming each leaf into a bridge to a broader world. Though their contributions may seem small, they flowed like gentle streams into the grand current of rural revitalization, helping to rejuvenate and prosper this land.
However, this is only the beginning of their journey. The success of the first phase is just the start, with new challenges and opportunities awaiting their exploration and action.
On this land steeped in 1,000 years of civilization, the mission and challenges of a new era intertwine. This is the cradle of Chinese culture, and a stage where young global leaders come to practice and grow. At Hunan University, Yuelu Academy, and Baishuidong Village, 40 young Chinese Americans have felt the pulse of ancient traditions, witnessed the advancements of modern technology, and experience firsthand
impoverished farmers to build a better, opportunity for them to, see a better,
the remarkable achievements, targeted poverty alleviation, and rural revitalization.
Why we decided to come to this place to work in poverty alleviation, right? To help people improve their livelihoods.
And hope you guys in this journey, you will learn culture of the China and learn from your team.
We return to Hunan, a land where wisdom and dreams are nurtured. Here, young minds embark on a new journey.
I'm the co-leader of Group 2.
And I've been at this program for 2 years, and I'll be the leader of 4 again.
Driven by the belief in transforming knowledge into action. They are not just learners,
different countries, but we're still in the same world.
but also
and then on the bus
heirs
right here,
to
I
a
was looking out the
legacy,
window.
bearing the mission of a new era.
Leadership is born from the land and takes root in practice. The terraced fields of Baishuidong Village serve as their classroom, and targeted poverty alleviation is their mission. Through hands-on involvement, they experience China's rural areas' profound transformation, becoming witnesses and drivers of this remarkable change.
The ancient academy has witnessed the growth of countless scholars over the centuries. And today, these young minds draw wisdom from its halls, with their eyes set on the future.
我们那个富兰克林奖学金有一个这个奖学金计划，专门就是给学生们，奖学金可以希望开学9月份以后给他们买一些读书用品啊、读书书籍啊之类的。然后这次我们学生把这个钱也带过来了，我请他们把钱交给您。
对，希望他一起
好好学习，好好学习，好不好，妹妹？好，让妈妈给你买一些辅导资料。
Their journey is not just one of personal growth.
那个很贵的，种子都8块钱一斤。
我搜一下玉竹，我都去拍照搜图的，我去拍照搜一下图，我们都能
玉竹它是都每个月才。
But of embracing the responsibilities of their time.
Leadership is the beacon that guides the times and the backbone that upholds conviction.
ends in the past 14 days. And today, hopefully, is a culmination of all the hard work.
Here, they acquire knowledge and embrace the responsibility of service and dedication. The road ahead is full of challenges. Yet they have embarked on this journey with unwavering determination and hope.
Sophia, 你消音了。There's no sound. Sophia.
You're muted. Sorry about that. So you can hear me now? Everybody can hear me now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 各位同学和家长，大家晚上好！感谢大家来到飞达教育第138期公益讲座。我们今天将讨论的主题是如何打造高质量志愿者活动。我是今晚活动的主持人，来自 IvyMax Webinar Center 的 Sophia。在活动正式开始之前呢，请允许我简单介绍一下近期 IvyMax 的一些相关活动。首先呢是 IvyMax 与 Franklin Education Foundation 在去年暑假联合举办的全球青年领导力项目。我们分别于6月和7月开展了2期的活动，带领学生前往哥斯达黎加。那么今天呢，关于这个项目的具体内容，将由我们的嘉宾Dr. Angela Garvin 为大家介绍。他还特别邀请了一位曾经参与过这个项目的学生，来跟大家分享他的收获和心得。那么第二页呢，这个项目呢，就是刚才大家看到的宣传边上的这个项目，它是我们去年这些照片是来自于去年暑假举办的这个 GPL 的活动，目的地呢是中国的湖南。 其实这个项目是 IvyMax 历时最久、参与人数最多的旗舰项目。每年我们都会收到家长们非常正面的反馈，告诉我们这个项目，给学生带来的一些巨大的变化。那么今年冬天呢，这个项目将继续举办。感兴趣的家长以及未来准备学习 business 方向的同学们，就是可以关注一下，然后向这个所在中心的老师进行一下咨询。这一页呢是这个 Princeton 中心的同学成立的学生社团，他们在组织活动的时候的照片。那么我们今天呢也邀请到了这个社团的 President Eric 同学，请他为大家分享这个他的社团的活动的内容，以及他在运营这个学生社团的过程中他获得的经验和心得。那好，以上呢就是这一些回顾和预告的这个信息。那么下面呢，我们就正式开始今天的内容。今天我们的 webinar 呢将主要涉及以下4个部分的内容。那么第一呢，就是我们会讨论一下什么是高质量的志愿者活动，以及它对高中生的重要性。第二个呢，就是志愿者活动是如何跟一些奖项相结合的，因为大家都知道，就是这个 PVSA 现在目前是在暂停的一个状态下，那么是否有别的奖项可以替换来进行申请？那第三呢，就是志愿者活动如何与学术活动和这个活动进行结合，从而提升学生在大学申请中的竞争力。第四呢，就是来自 IvyMax 学生的这个分享和一些成功案例。下面我来介绍一下我们今天的2位嘉宾。那么第一位呢是 Dr. Trevor Chen，他是认知心理学博士，在飞达工作了15年，身兼数职，他是资深的 counselor、researcher and editor，College Board 认证的 AP Research 的课程讲师。那除此之外呢，他也是飞达 FRIP，就是学生独立科研项目的总负责人。帮助过上百位的学生完成过他们的这个独立科研项目，并且发表了相关的论文。最后呢，他也是这个 Alameda County Fair 的 judge。第2位嘉宾呢是 Dr. Angela Garben， 她是进化生物学博士，在飞达工作14年，拥有20年以上的学生辅导经验。同样的呢是身兼数职，是资深的 counselor、editor 以及 College Board 认证的 AP Seminar 课程的讲师。他是若干这个飞达学生社团 Student Club 的 mentor。那同时呢，也是 Santa Clara County Science and Engineering Fair 的 judge。好，那么下面呢，我就把时间首先交给这个 Dr. Chen。
Okay. Thank you. Hey, I'll be speaking both English and Mandarin, just in case, for everybody to be able to understand. 多谢 Sophia，我中文、英文都讲，我大部分讲英文，然后用中文总结一下，然后各位最后有任何问题就可以问我。So I will be speaking mostly in English, but I will also try to summarize things with Mandarin Chinese. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me at the end. Thank you. So let's start. For my part of the discussion, there will be 4 parts here. It says, here, I mean, you all can see they're all about various aspects of volunteering activities. At first, I will be going over the first 3 parts of this discussion, and then Dr. Garben will speak her part, and then after Dr. Angela Garben finishes with her part, I'll be back to finish up the point number 4. 所以说我先讲前面1、2、3，然后Dr. Garben 会接下来他讲完后呢，我再回来讲第4个part 4. So for the next 20 minutes or so, I'll be going over the first 3 parts. The importance of volunteering, volunteering awards or honors, and VGPL. VGPL is virtual Global Philanthropy Leadership Program。接下来这20分钟，我先讲前面3部分，义工的重要性、义工奖，还有Virtual GPL 的这个义工课外活动。Next page, please. Thank you. 多谢。各位在右边看。Also, if you look at the picture on the right, this picture, what is this? When many college admission officers nowadays have a stereotypical view of young people, especially those from the Generation Z, Gen Z teenagers. They have this, many admission officers have this negative stereotype about young people. 现在很多大学的 admission officer， 他们开始对年轻人有负面的印象，尤其是现代的年轻人。I just type up views about teenagers. This picture came out. 我在网上一找说现在年轻人负面的刻板印象，这个图像就显示出来，左边的这图像就显示出来。So I look at this picture, it says selfish. Then I understood what that picture meant. Fish. So the word selfish ends with the 4 letters F-I-S-H, fish. Right below the picture on the left, you see a jar with water and with a goldfish in this jar of water. That goldfish is taking a cell phone and taking a selfie. It looks like that goldfish in the picture on the left is either playing video games or is on social media or taking a selfie with a selfie stick. This picture made me think about how admission officers have this negative view of teenagers as being selfish, self-absorbed. And this picture also kind of shows a narrow view that many college believe that teenagers have, in the sense that they are observed in their own world. They don't look beyond this jar. They are happy with their own worlds, staring at their own reflections. And then I believe is wrong, and I believe is the negative stereotype of young people. But I kind of see why they have the word selfish, because it's a fish, right? And I thought that I put the picture on the left here to kind of show the idea of direct versus indirect bragging. 这个图像它不只显现一只鱼啊，这个就是正好很妙。这个 selfish 这自私的这个字后面这个字是 fish F-I-S-H， 左边的图像下面就有一个负面的年轻人的一个负面刻板印象，在玩电玩或是看手机或是在 take a selfie 然后呢汉人讲井底之蛙，它这个就是好像一个井底之鱼一样，它不看大海洋，他就管他自己的这个世界。这个就使我想起一个大学申请的一个原理啊，直接 direct versus indirect bragging， 直接与间接的这个自夸。So what do I mean by direct versus indirect bragging? Let's say you won 3 awards, A, B, and C. Okay, if you just go with direct bragging, then you can put on your application or in the essay saying things like, I worked very hard, I was very good, I won awards A, B, and C. Yeah, I'm the best. That's being direct. That's direct bragging. Or if you want to send a message to colleges that you won A, B, and C, you won 3 awards A, B, and C, instead of directly saying how good you are and what you did to win A, B, and C, you can say something like, I was happy to help a group of kids. And on the last day of my volunteering trip, they made some thank you cards for me. And that, to me, meant more than the awards ABC that I won. That's indirect bragging. What I mean by that is that in both cases, you send the message to colleges that you won 3 awards, A, B, and C. But whereas the first case in direct bragging, you're saying how good you are, and you are helping yourself. The other one, you send the same message that you want A, B, and C, but you are above and beyond that. You look further, you look deeper, your views are wider, and to you, it's not about the award, but the social impact. 这个也就是直接夸跟间接夸的大学申请的差别。So instead of a fish, I tend to think of a dog or a bee. 与其是鱼，我不如想狗或是蜜蜂、蜂蜜、蜜蜂。OK， 英文确实非常的妙哈。The English language is intricate. Instead of fish in shellfish, we should project the image of a bee or a dog. Be kind, be nice. In fact, if you can see my video, now that teenagers should promote the idea of volunteering, they even made a hat about this. If you can see my video, there are literally hats that says be kind, B-E-E, not B as in B, but B-E, be kind as in B, because bees do a lot to help the world. So the idea is that you are be kind with B-E, be kind, be happy, be humble, and do good, but also do good, do good, because the first 3 letters of do good is D-O-G. So picture the perspective of the admission officer. If you take the perspective of the admission officer, you would rather think about a teenager as the picture on the right or in the middle, not the one on the left. 所以如果我们从大学申请官的角度上来看，我们希望他看一个年轻人的表，是想的关于这个年轻人的素质，是想右边的图像，就是 be kind， 或中间的图像 do good or dog good， 不是左边的 selfish。下一页next page please. So volunteer, if I tell you that volunteer is important, I mean that's something you already know. Okay, you know that volunteering is important for college admissions. You know that on college applications, you have to put volunteering activities as part of your college application. But let me tell you more about that. Okay, when most people probably don't know that when you apply to private colleges and universities, your counselor at your main high school, he or she has to write a recommendation report about you. You will not get to see it, but your high school counselor will need to absolutely require to write a recommendation letter and fill out a recommendation form to talk about you in a form and a letter that you don't get to see. Okay. What the counselor does is that they ask you to turn in a brag sheet, meaning that you tell your high school counselor in a written brag sheet what you have done. And your college counselor use that to help him or her write the recommendation and the form. Okay. If you look at point 2 and 3, okay, your counselor will judge you on your extracurricular accomplishments and personal qualities and characters. 2 and 3, that will be sent directly from the counselor to the colleges and the universities. You won't get to see it. Other recommendations, like teachers' recommendations, for example, both teacher and counselor, when they write their recommendation letters, they have to judge you on things like productive discussion, like confidence, all these B, C, and D. But if you look at A, B, C, and D, you'll notice that many of these terms are very closely related to volunteering and extracurricular activities. Everybody knows that students have to take courses. Everybody knows that you have to do well in the GPA and tests. So that those things like courses and exam scores don't really show these personal qualities or characters. Things like motivation. I mean, yeah, you want to do well in your grades and your courses. Everybody knows that. But beyond that, do you, as a young person who fight against the negative stereotype, are you motivated to help other people? Are you motivated to change the world and make social impact beyond yourself? Motivation, leadership, maturity, discipline, initiative, concern for others. Look at all these terms. The recommender, they have to judge you on those categories and give you a score. So when you write your brag sheet or talk to your recommenders, you need to boost up your resume by doing things about volunteering. So they don't just help you on the college application form. They help you on your recommendations. Okay. Now, of course, on many essays for college applications, you have to write about your volunteering or extracurricular activities. And if I may, for today, thanks to Franklin and IvyMax, they have this new idea called social impact research, SIR, which is a combination of volunteering and research. That way, you get the best of both worlds. You see, if you go to any other research institution, or if you do any other research activity, that's a cold research. That's it. And after it's done, and then it's over. That does not show any social impact. That does not show that you are volunteering to make a positive impact for other people. So just research on its own, it's good, but it doesn't show that you have concern for people beyond you. If you just do volunteering, that's also good, okay? But it doesn't show your things like your input. It does not show your intellectual contributions, okay? So now each of those is good, but when you combine them, it can be greater than each one is on its own. So when you combine volunteer and research, you can create something that Franklin and the IvyMax call social impact research. Let's go to the next page, please. I know that I have 10 more minutes before the next speaker. So let's talk now. That was the part one, the importance of research. 第一页讲了 research 的，第一页讲了 volunteering 的重要性。除了帮助你的大学申请表，也间接帮助你的写推荐信的人写信，也可以用在文章上。那这个也跟 research 可以跟 research 结合，变成 SIR Social Impact Research 跟 volunteer 的结合，很容易胜过这两个分开来。Okay? 好，下一个第二段就是讲 ，OK， so not only do you get all these benefits from volunteering, obviously besides the form, the essays, recommendations, of course there are awards that you can put on your college application. There are many volunteering awards and honors. We have only a fixed amount of time, so I'll just go over a few. Now, the two most noticeable ones are the two on top, Congressional Awards and the National Service Honor Award. There are many others like National Community Service, the American Volunteer Service Award, various volunteering certificates, and much more. But I wanted to talk about the first two because many people have been asking me about the pros and cons. Now, now that the PVSA, the Presidential Volunteering Service Award, now that the PVSA is on hiatus, is on a temporary hold, we don't know when it's going to be back or if it is coming back. But meanwhile, what the pros and cons for these two, the first two, the Congressional Award versus the National Service Award, that's what I will be going over. 中文，除了这个 volunteering 的这个重要性，当然 volunteer 还有是讲呢有很多讲，今天因为时间有限制，我们就讲前面的这两个，这个剩下的欢迎问菲达或 Franklin 的 counselor，讲这两个的原因是说呢，这两个很配合 PVSA， 因为现在 PVSA 起码被暂停。哪时候回来不知道，那么呢，就有很多人在开始想说，哎，这个 Congressional Award 跟 National Service Honor，这两个各有什么好处，或者就各有什么利跟弊，所以我们现在就来分析一下。Next page, please. Lance, can we get? Yes. Thank you. So first up, Congressional Awards. Now the advantage. Now. Obviously, the advantage is that it's prestigious. In fact, less than 1% of high school students get that, and it sounds good. It's technically given out by the U.S. Congress, so it sounds good. Now, however, with that said, there are some disadvantages. So you really have to be very careful in weighing your pros and cons. First, in terms of the disadvantages, is very complicated. There are various categories, and each has its own rules in terms of time and what activity counts for each. Just to give you a quick example. You'll notice that for the medals, there are 4 categories, right? Volunteering, personal development, physical fitness, and expedition or exploration. Just to give you an idea of the complexity of this, okay? For the first category, volunteering service, political activities don't count for the first one. Religious activities don't count as the first one. For the second one, it has to be outside of school. It has to be a hobby outside of school in terms of personal development. For the third one, physical fitness, it has to be non-competitive. And for the fourth one, it cannot be job shadowing, it cannot be internships, it cannot be cruises, it cannot be competitions or conferences for expedition or exploration. This is just to give you the complexity, just to give you a sense of the complexity of this type of award. And after you do this, you have to, well, first you need 4 advisors and 1 sort of overarching mentor. And now, yes, the mentor can be one of the advisors, but you need at least about 4 supervisors for these categories. And after you do them within the specified times, you have to do a record book and a workbook where you write things out to show what you did and why they were meaningful. And it has to be approved by the congressional awards. Now, this, however, with that said, this award is good for students who are at the beginning of their high school stages or younger. It's good for students who are good at organizing things and planning things. It's good for students who really love this award and is willing to spend a lot of time doing them, but also writing them out. So it's good for this type of student, but it's hard to get. It takes a lot of planning, and it might be harder for students in their junior or senior years to get them。这个奖呢，好处坏处，好处含金量高，坏处呢它比较复杂，然后呢做完后呢要写一些东西来证明，是比较适合年纪比较小的学生，比较适合这个会计划跟配合好的学生。OK，next page please. Thank you. The National Service Honor. This is actually modeled after the PVSA, and it's much more straightforward. It's much more easier to get. In fact, a few service trip with GPL or VGPL will easily satisfy these requirements. Now, what is a disadvantage? I mean, I guess is it takes a little bit more hours in certain category in certain categories. It takes slightly a little bit more in terms of the amount of hours compared to the previous PVSA。这个呢就是比较直接，这个呢也比较容易得到这个奖，含金量也不错，只要满足这些小时，那个做 GPL 或 VGPL 都是很好的选择。Next page, please. Thank you. Okay, so the third part of this discussion is the VGPL. 这个第三个就是 VGPL。那个你最后要证明，如果任何大学怀疑你做的任何东西，需要机构出来证明。GPL 或 VGPL， 飞达或 Franklin 都会出来帮你作证。然后呢，它与这些 major 都有很大的关系。这个他也会教很多这个课内学不到的东西，像so I have to speak in English. So it is related to a variety of majors. If colleges ever doubt the activity, IvyMax or Franklin is there to verify, to back you up. And it also teaches things that you cannot learn in school, like the psychology of creativity, psychology of learning, psychology of memory, psychology of leadership, and motivation that you can apply in your life. And you can combine that with research project as well. 你可以与这些 major 都配合，然后呢，可以学到很多很实用的心理学、领导学、启发学、创作学，学习如何用心理学帮助你学习，可以跟 research 结合。That's it. That's so. Next, I guess Sophia, you want to welcome Dr. Garvin?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chen. 好，那么下面我们就有请今天的第二位嘉宾 Dr. Angela Garvin. Hi, Dr. Garvin. I've introduced you in Chinese earlier, so please feel free to start your sharing now.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. So, pretty much today, I'm going to go like kind of a case study into a GPL. So, where you can really delve deep into hopefully a passion of yours or whatever it may be. And then I have alongside me tonight one of my students that went to Costa Rica with me as well. And William will be talking about his experiences. I'm also his editor for college applications. So we're going to hear from him at the end of our time today. So I started Costa Rica program with Principal Zhang, I think maybe 9 years ago. It's been a long time, 10 years ago. And, it was an opportunity for our students to really delve deep into conservation efforts. So each of our GPLs have some sort of focus. My background being, psychology and biology. Also, one of my passions is environmental science. So that's why I really wanted to get involved with this program. Okay, next, please. Sophia. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, I mean, if you can see in the world map, I mean, Costa Rica is super small compared to most countries. Uh, it has literally 5% of the biodiversity on Earth. So this is a prime location for us to put our efforts into and have students really delve into their own passions with conservation. And, some students have done, very specific projects over the years. We do have side projects like other GPLs that we offer through Franklin. But anyway, so in this very small area, you get very different ecosystems as well. So we have been to the Pacific coast, all up and down from Guanacaste to, the latter part of the country to, on the Caribbean side in Limon. And depending on where you go, you're going to get a very different experience. So I just wanted to point out that this is a unique experience for students when they go on this particular GPL. Next. So I'm going to just go over, I'm going to, kind of intertwine, some of the activities that we do and how that provides, a given opportunity, and how that kind of correlates or matches up. And I think William later on is going to speak more to this through his own personal experience with doing college apps and having this experience. But anyway, so like I said, our focus is, conservation, right? So, of course, beach cleanup is part, I mean, we're for several days at least on a beach. Back in the day, we were like, 7, 8 days on a beach. So, and these beaches are very unique because this is where sea turtles are laying out that are endangered. And so we have to do these beach cleanups in order to provide a safe space for the females to haul out. Uh, Next. So, in tandem with that, we also do night patrols. So, this is one of my favorite aspects of our experience in Costa Rica. You're literally trekking, I don't know, uh, like 4 or 5 miles, maybe 8 miles, up and down the coast, hunting for females. You're going to see in these pictures, you do see eggs. Unfortunately, well, let me get to the fun part, which is on the right side, the female laying her eggs at night. So she's hauling out, digging her nest, and then, laying her eggs. But these little guys, even though they are very cute, they are very malicious and detrimental to sea turtles. These are eggs that have been eaten by raccoons. So the point being, though, is that, where else are you going to get this experience, right? Going and experiencing, seeing turtles lay eggs in the wild. The Costa Rica experience, I still am very passionate about it. I love going every year. Um, you know, and it's never quite the same. So that's also something I'd like to point out as I'm talking through my slides here is that, one student's experience, like doing beach cleanup, witnessing, the haul out of, the females at night laying their eggs. Every student's going to be unique and what they take from that experience. So, over the years, students would say, well, isn't there a lot of students from IvyMax or Franklin doing this? And I'm like, yes, there have been over the years. But I guarantee you, as an editor myself and a counselor, uh, I've never read the same exact, reflection on those experiences. And I've been doing this for 14 years. So These are worthy of providing students these in-depth experiences that hopefully they can find a passion if they don't already have it, for conservation and environmental science. Okay, next. Okay, so other experiences, we're not always on the beach. We go to wildlife conservation centers, we go to animal rescue centers to do the husbandry of animals that have been injured. Some of them may be endangered, some of them may not be, but it's a husbandry system, a sanctuary where, not only you can learn about conservation, right? And learn about the different animal species, but also be making an impact. And that's another thing that I want to kind of piggyback off on with Dr. Chen. We talk about impact, right? We want to make an impact. Not only do we want to make an impact on the world, right? But we also want to do it on ourselves. It goes in tandem when you have, these in-depth immersion experiences. So that's, going, to a GPL, doing these activities is what it will provide you. Okay, next. So, obviously, education is a huge part of this, right? We want to not only educate ourselves, but we also want to educate people around the world. Whether, if it's with Costa Rica, that's just in my area of specialty, or if, it's in Hunan or Nepal, some of our other programs that we do have, mainly in the summer. So we also have them in the winter as well, Hunan in China. So anyway, so it's just, if you're thinking of, and also going back to something that Dr. Chen said, you're gonna have to demonstrate, on your activities list what you've done throughout high school. But especially the UCs, you need to have experiences in order, to write about them. And most of the UCs, their prompts they warrant some sort of unique experience, some sort of passion, or, that you've developed throughout high school. And, like you can do a virtual GPL that can also do it, but in-person GPLs, and then, later on, you're going to learn other ways that you can develop those through clubs and stuff like that, which I oversee as well. So, the main point is trying to show on your college applications that you can see beyond yourself, right? That and that it's not just you're doing it for the purpose of college applications. I'm sure undoubtedly there's going to be some things, but these bigger items, or should be bigger items, that you follow through year after year, can be a passion. So let's say you want to go into engineering, right? But you have the opportunity to go to Costa Rica. Well, how does that line up, right? It has nothing to do with engineering per se. You don't want all of your activities and your experiences to be lopsided and one-sided. So when I speak to my students, about going to Costa Rica, it can also build a very well-rounded experience and student. So not all of your essays are about math and engineering. So, and that's what you do not want. If you want to go to Stanford, I guarantee you, they don't want to hear a one-sided student. They want to hear about a dynamic student. Okay, next. So again, education. So in a lot of places that we go, we end up teaching young people, right? Um, I also, what I've done to continue the interest and impact of my students that go to Costa Rica with me or without me, if it's another advisor. I started a club, Non-Toxic NorCal. It's been running for, wow, started in Southern California. I think it's been going on 6 or 7 years now, um, in different locations in Southern California and Northern California. And it was because of my involvement. Well, I've been an environmentalist since, oh my God, my early 20s, but, working on campaigns like that. But but it also gives students a way to continue their efforts. So we're not just saying go to these GPL experiences and then just one time and don't do anything else about it. We want you to build on it. We want you to continue that passion, right? And I think that's super important for my students personally. So, the my kind of take homes, are, yes, uh, Costa Rica is a wonderful place to go. It's going to give you some unique experiences that are, that you're not going to get anywhere else. It's also going to be a platform for you to learn about yourself, about others, and about, the world, having a dynamic perspective of the world. Um, and then ultimately it will come down to helping you with college essays, you know, uh, and then hopefully you find a passion maybe that you didn't have. And then by going there, you'll find something that is worthy of your time and efforts throughout high school, which also can be used for your congressional award that Dr. Chin was talking about, because you do need to have, or you always hear about these passion projects that can be a part of that, and that could actually contribute to the congressional award as well. So I'm actually going to hand it over to William now. William Ping, he, like I said, is a senior. I'm working with him as his editor, and he went to Costa Rica with me 2 summers ago. So, William, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hey everyone, my name's William. I'm a senior at Phil High School in Pleasanton, NorCal, roughly about. And I'm just gonna be talking about like my experience in Costa Rica. And personally for me, it was like probably like one of my top three experiences of like personal growth. And I think like I attribute this to like immersing myself in like a completely new environment. So of course, obviously there's like the fact that you're in a completely new country and you're not with your parents anymore. And you sort of have to like not learn how to live with yourself, but also have to learn to live with others. And at the same time, you also get immersed in like the Pura Vida lifestyle, which I think has like a bunch of like cool takeaways to cool like insights to take away from. For example, like you learn just how to live more sort of like cleaner. Well, Pura Vida, like the direct translation is like pure life, right? And sort of like the takeaways I took that from my experience in Costa Rica was just sort of living in a way that's just more like chill in a sense. Living in a way that doesn't is like more stress-free. I think there's like certain takeaways like that. Like Dr. Garma was talking about earlier, where it's like, oh, every student takes something different away from Costa Rica. And for personally for me, that was like one of the main takeaways. And another one of the main takeaways I took away was like how truly like the true consequences of climate change. Like you can read all the data points and all the news articles you want, but it doesn't matter or it doesn't like surmount to like the true experience of like seeing climate change occur and seeing like all the trash on the beaches. Like one morning you could be cleaning up trash on the beach and the next morning it just be right there again, right? Because of just like the storms and stuff like that, just bring the trash back to the shores. And it's experiences like that that really build, I think, for me at personally at least, it built on like my perception of like the world and like global issues. I think that's also something really important to have. Like, even if you're like an engineering major or like a, I don't know, public health major, I think being conscious and aware of like issues outside of your own field is actually like an extremely important like value that you should represent in your essays. For example, like, or actually, I'll just say that I am applying for environmental policy, so this doesn't really apply to me. But I have a bunch of friends who applied for like business and stuff who talked about their experience in Costa Rica and actually connected it really well to like some activities that they brought back home. Like Dr. Garmer was talking about like, oh, passion projects, right? I think I had a friend who had like an environmental related but business club at a school. And there's things like that. And also there's a lot of like essays related to like quote unquote like lived experiences. So for me, like the two that I can think of like off the top of my head were like Columbia and Stanford. They both had essays about like, oh, this lived experience, talk about how it changed you, personal growth, yada yada, right? And I think experiences like Costa Rica, where you truly like immerse yourself in a completely new situation, and experiences like that really like bring out versions of yourself that you may have like never seen or never known about. Experiences like those help you write essays like that. And it's not only just like essays, but it's also just like in general just like life lessons like I talked about like the pure vita and things like that. And I think like personally for me, I'll like always be like eco-conscious and environmentally like aware of like my actions and things like that because of my experience in Costa Rica. Like I'm not too sure if I want to pursue environmental policy necessarily as like my career, but like nonetheless, like in the future, I know for a fact I'll always be like sort of like environmentally aware of like my actions, always like recycling and things like that because of like in Costa Rica, I had to like separate trash, which was like a little nasty, but it was also like a very like is a very meaningful experience to understand like the grassroots efforts that go behind the scenes. And something I also want to talk about was like how like I said before, a lot of us maybe want to go into like policy, we want to become like engineers and things like that. But like or like engineers specifically working towards sustainability, right? But I think it's also important to experience like the effort that goes like on like the sort of like the grassroots efforts and sort of like the foundational work that goes into making those policies and those like technologies like actually like possible. Like when we visited Picard Reserve, it was clear that they were collecting data for scientists and doing things like that, like doing field work that actually benefits like engineers or like scientists making coming up with or policymakers coming up with like policies coming up with new technologies, right? So I think it's actually really important to gain that recognition and like respect for the people who like lay the groundwork for like if you're trying to become like a policymaker and you do develop like some sort of empathy for those people. And yeah, those are just like my overall takeaways from Costa Rica.
Okay. Thank you, William. So we have one more slide that has various pictures on it. Sorry, Sophia, I forgot to put that up while William was speaking. But thank you for your time tonight, and I hopefully there's some we've inspired some of you to embark on some immersion projects of the such. Okay, Sophia.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Garvin and Willem. And I know Dr. Garvin have another meeting with
Yes.
students and you have to go. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would like to give a special thanks to Willem. He's a senior student now, and he has a very busy schedule preparing his college application essays. So I'm very impressed that he would like to take his time to join our webinar tonight and share his insight. I bet, like he said, the trip to Costa Rica could be one of the most important journeys in his life. Thank you again, Willem, and best of luck with your college application. Thank you. All right. Then
Thank you.
OK, thank you. Bye, Dr. Garvin. Bye, Willem.
Bye.
OK，好，那我们下面呢进入下一个环节。 除了这个义工项目之外呢，IvyMax 的学生还可以通过这种 Student Club 这种义工活动来获得一些这个义工小时数。那么在 Club 的活动当中呢，同学们也收获了很多的经验和心得。那今天呢，我邀请到了这个 Eric 同学，他是11年级的学生。他在今年上半年的时候呢，他开始着手成立他的这个 club，叫 STEM Bridge，这个就像这个屏幕上显示的这个哈。那从 club 成立这个就是最初期的这种头脑风暴，到现在这个拥有一定的成员，并且开始顺利的开展各项活动，在这个过程中呢，我这个见证了他的这种成长和他遇到的这种挑战。那我今天那个邀请 Eric 来和大家分享一下他的经历和感受。OK，Eric，are you ready?
Yeah. So yeah,
Please go
I'm
ahead.
Eric, and I'm a junior in high school, and I'm here to introduce to you guys STEMbridge. So STEMbridge, I was inspired to create STEMbridge because I noticed, like with my volunteering at many museums in the Bay Area, I saw that many underprivileged kids lacked access to hands-on STEM learning, and this reduced confidence and interest in STEM, resulting in inequalities in education as well as job opportunities. Thanks. So I found out that many students who engage in hands-on activities are more likely to express interest in STEM fields, and exposing STEM to students at early ages, such as during elementary school, can increase the likelihood of pursuing STEM. So STEMbridge, we decided to take this information and help kids like learn STEM through self-assembled science kits that allow kids to boost their like confidence in STEM. So overall, STEMbridge works like this. We will design kits, assemble kits, and distribute kits. When we design kits, we focus on elementary school kids, which are the target audience, and we make the kits low cost as well as fun and safe. Next, we take the kits that we have designed and then package them and put about 2 to 3 kits in a box, as well as instructions on how to use the kits. Lastly, the kits will be sent to, for example, underprivileged communities as well as developing countries through IvyMax's travel programs. So some of the activities that we currently are doing are fundraising, kit assembly, donations, and advocacy. So fundraising, we have a GoFundMe and we have an Instagram as well. And we also do fundraising events such as bake sales as well as gift wrapping. And we also run donation events. For example, in public centers like libraries, we can run kit donation events and host workshops for kids that work on the kits. And then to get the kits, we do the kit assembly. And then through the kit assembly, we are able to, for example, get pictures as well as different media for us to promote our club. So this was our latest workshop during November this year. And these are some pictures of me as well as some club members that could show up to making the kits as well as the finished result. So for us, we have some upcoming events. So as a club, we're planning on hosting a hands-on workshop as well as a donation event at the Newark Library during December 20th through the 21st, the weekend. And we also plan on doing a donation as well as a fundraising event in the Stonebridge Mall in Pleasanton right before the winter holidays. So if anyone is interested, please join. And of course, volunteer hours are provided through these activities. So our club, we are definitely growing right now, but we do still have some positions available. Currently, there are director of finance, which plans like our fiscal management and as well like helps run fundraising events and just manages anything relating to the finances of the club. And we also have an international ambassador position available. So as I said earlier, we plan to use the IvyMax travels to help bring the kids over to like countries like Costa Rica, China, and Africa. And this helps us like donate the kids like to many places like overseas. And this would be really like easy through the IvyMax trips. And it's a really easy way to help connect with like the students that are participating at these IvyMax programs. And for anyone that's, for example, going to any of these programs, if you are interested, please shoot me an email at the email provided below. So over these past like couple months, I feel like I've really turned like me and my club mates' passion into like a structured club that like can actually interact with the community and get things done. And we have like started to organize volunteers and done coordination with community like partners like the library in Newark. We also have definitely improved on our management and we've done good with, for example, designing the low-cost fund projects with efficiency, using as little materials as possible, but making it still both usable as well as fun. And lastly, I feel like definitely with like any club, there's definitely comes problems as well as different like situations that as a member of the club I have to solve. But I feel like this definitely improved my, for example, resilience and as well as like my teamwork abilities because I feel like I've learned to collaborate more with my teammates as well as solve problems quickly under pressure. So also like shout out to Sophia for helping all of that guidance and support. It's been really helpful for like helping me grow my club because this is like something I guess I am kind of new to, but she helped me do a lot of like the planning and stuff and that was I feel like that was really helpful. So also a big shout out to like all the volunteers that have joined our club already. So yeah, thank you for your time and I hope you join us in building a bridge to the future of STEM. So also below there's my contact information as well as the Instagram for the club as well as the GoFundMe which can be scanned.
All right. Eric, thank you for your sharing. I'm excited about your upcoming events at Newark Library and Macy's Shopping Center. The president team and I would be happy to offer our support whenever you need it. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for participating in our webinar today. All right. 好的，那各位家长呢，如果对 Eric 的这个社团以及他社团的活动感兴趣的话，可以联系我，或者是学习中心的任何学习中心的老师，或者就是可以直接通过这个现在页面上的这种联系方式直接联系 Eric。那 Eric 的社团呢，也期待更多的学生可以加入。好，那我们下面呢就进入到下一个部分。这个部分其实是家长比较关心的，就是说做义工活动能不能跟学术活动相结合，然后呢提升学生在学术方面的竞争力，然后在大学的这个申请当中获得一些优势。这个部分呢，我们继续有请到这个 Dr. Chen，他作为 IvyMax 这个学生的这种独立科研项目的负责人，来跟我们讲一下他经历过的一些案例。Okay, Dr. Chen, please go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. Hey, Sophia, feel free to jump in whenever you want. Just say whatever that you want to say. 多谢各位，我现在讲最后的第四个部分，前面三个讲完了，现在讲第四个部分，就是如何把义工跟 research 结合。So for the last part, is the idea of combining volunteer and research in what IvyMax or Franklin calls social impact research. You guys, I'll be honest with you. I am a science judge for high school science fairs, and I myself have a number of professional publications. So I'm also a professional researcher. I'll be honest in telling you that many high school students, when they do research, college already are suspicious in terms of whether the student really did those research. I don't want to offend anybody here. Please don't take this the wrong way. I'm just gonna tell you what's really in my heart, and I want to say things that hopefully will try to help you, but I don't want you guys to feel offended. We judges at science fairs, we are used to doing these things. When we look at a project, we already have formed an idea of whether we think that the students really did this work or not. Not only are the judges have become more suspicious, colleges and universities are taking measures to check on students' research work. There's so many. I mean, Caltech is checking students' research and checking with the recommenders and checking in with research mentors. UC Berkeley, UCLA. This year, we have this new Viva test where for certain research portfolios, you have to take a test to show that you know about the research that you say you did. 翻成汉语，我想说几句心里话，我希望各位听了不要不高兴。我们职业的 researcher 或是 science fair 的裁判，我们的经验，只要看一个学生做的 research project， 我们就已经有这个想法，所以我们会有一个，我们觉得这学生确实是真的有做这个 research， 还是跟 mentor 套来的。现在很多的 science fair， 我们大家都知道，没有人，我们不好意思跟学生直接讲。不过我们在背后互相讨论，我们很多时候就可以猜出八九不离十，说这个 research 是学生自己做的比例高，还是基本上跟一个高科技的 mentor 套过来的。我们这个有很多方法可以检查，不过我们很多人就不好意思讲。大学也越来越多大学开始查了，Caltech、UC Berkeley、UCLA、MIT 今年刚出来一个 Viva 的考试，就是从现在开始，有些大学你要说你做了research，要放在 research portfolio 上面，你要过一个考试，证明你真的有做你说你做的这些research。那个他们去网上把 mentor 的背景一查，他就很可以看出这是不是学生套来的。我说套来的意思是说，这个 mentor 他越牛，在网上一看，很快就可以看出这个 research 这个 research mentor 也好，教授也好，基本上做的是什么东西。学生讲的，他做的8、9不离十，就会使大学或 science fair 教育就怀疑你这是很可能是套来的。他嘴不说，不过他心里是怀疑。我这样讲不是让各位不高兴，我没有恶意，我只是说现在越来越多的大学的怀疑，是因为很多外面其他的 science fair 基本上就是比看谁能找到比较高科技的 mentor 来到一个 research project。这个并不是 ，it's not a secret. Everybody knows that. 这样翻成一个这个英文 ，there are many ways for colleges and judges to check if they want to check if when they become suspicious of whether a student really did his or her project. So I'm saying this because I want to be honest with you, and I want to say that many admission officers, they don't have an engineering background. They don't have a high-tech background. Most of the college admission officers' backgrounds involve history, English, and humanities. So if you were to do a world level, professor level project, they barely understand it anyways. But if you combine with what's realistic sounding research with social impact, that makes a project that's unique, that makes it idiosyncratic, and no one else can copy you on that. 就说大学的 admission officer 的不好意思对，大部分的背景也不是 engineering， 他们也不是高科技，他们的背景就是历史也好，文学也好，你做的再牛，他可能80%-90%也看不懂，他也就怀疑说是不是学生做的。可是如果你把 research 跟 social 个人的 social impact 结合起来，那就是独一无二了，因为他们知道很多 research 的 program 也好，教授也好，他不会为了学生单身定做，他基本上就套一份。反过来说，很多课外活动的 volunteer 的这个东西，他们不做 research， 所以外面很多的这个活动是分开 ，research 分开 ，social impact 分开。如果你把这两个东西一结合，那就独一无二了。这也就是为什么菲达跟 Franklin 有了这个思路，把 volunteer 跟 research 结合，把它叫成 SIR social impact research。在 social impact 上 ，GPL 或 VGPL 是个很好的这个 volunteering 的活动。在 research 上，Franklin Research Internship Program FRIP， 还有 AP Capstone Program， 因为 Franklin 也有 offer AP Capstone Program， 这里面包括 AP Research、AP Seminar， 这也是一个很好的一个 research 的机会。换句话说，如果把so in other words， social in terms of social impact volunteering, GPL and GPL virtual GPL are good options. In terms of research, Franklin Research Internship Program FRIP, FRIP, and AP Capstone, which includes AP Seminar and AP Research, would be a good options. That's why so when you Franklin offers FRIP and AP Capstone. So if you combine GPL and or VGPL with FRIP and or AP Capstone, that will make it unique. And in a few minutes, we'll give a few examples of that. Besides that, there are also a number of clubs offered at IvyMax or Franklin. They're listed right here. GPL、还有 VGPL 以外，还有很多的这个俱乐部，这个都已经放在这个 slide 上。下一页，多谢。So in terms of what do I mean by combining volunteering with research into what we call SIR, social impact research? Well, that's unique and that's idiosyncratic. No one can copy you on that. Let me give you a few real examples in the past. Here are all the lists here. There's a student, she got into Stanford. On the first one, if you can see, HY, she likes animals. And she, in terms of volunteering, she was a volunteer at Paws Club, Environmental Club, and so on. Then she combined that with research on the multimodal perception of dogs that assesses the relationship between humans and dogs in terms of how humans perceive dogs. We don't have to get into the detail, but that was so unique. And her mentor was a professor, even though professor has her own thing, but the friend mentor was willing to tailor students' interests and integrate that with the mentor's expertise to make it unique and idiosyncratic. 中文是说 Franklin Research Program 是用学生的兴趣与 mentor 的专长做独一无二的配合。我再说一次哈 ，Franklin Research 的 program FRIP 是用学生的兴趣与 mentor 的专长做独一无二的配合。And that mentor wrote letters of recommendation. So the combination of FRIP research with letters of recommendation, with the volunteering at Paws and Environmental Club. In fact, she got enough volunteering hours to win not just a gold medal, but a lifetime service award. All that in combination helped her get into Stanford University. There's so many. The next one, NW, combines education, psychology in FRIP research to assess the social-emotional programs of his own high school. That research made it into the finals. In fact, when the administrator at his own high school discovered that, they invited him to speak, to present his work in front of the administration school team to show them, teach them how they can improve their social-emotional program for their own students. You talk about social impact, that is definitely social impact. And he got into Brown University. There's so many. The third one, I mean, I only have 3 more minutes, so I'll mention like a few one. The third one, IH, combines research from the Franklin Research Program with AP capstone, AP research, with her volunteering for autistic children, and she came up with we work together. She worked together with Franklin's research program and AP capstone to create a unique project that assesses autistic children's prospect of vocational training. Obviously, and then she did a very good job, earned a letters of rec. She was in her research project was presented at TED TET Talk, and she got into Stanford. There's just so many. You can combine Franklin Research with GPL or VGPL. You can combine with club, other volunteering things. And if you look at the bottom of these, there's so many. I mean, there's all kinds that's listed here. 翻成汉语就是 research 的 FRIP 做人跟狗的分析，加上课外活动，帮助一个人进了史丹佛。research on Franklin 的教育跟心理学来分析学校的社会情绪教育课程，最后让被他的学校请去做报告，进了 Brown University， 把AP Franklin 的 AP capstone 跟 Franklin Research Program 加上这个帮助自闭症的小孩，就做了一个自闭症在社会上职业训练的看法，被请去做 TED Talk， 进了史丹佛 VGPL 跟GPL 有些人是用那个P2P Microfinance 的 GPL 与 FRIP 做独一无二的配合，有人把它跟 AP capstone 做独一无二的配合，有人用Post-doc read 这个的GPL 跟 FRIP 结合，有人用 VGPL 跟 FRIP 结合，有各种这个不同的独一无二的结合的方法，最后帮学生进，有些进 Berkeley、Cornell 这个 Northwestern。好，下一页 ，next page please。最后so I have 1 more minute. So how do I end it with the last page? We began our discussion of a selfish fish, which is a stereotype of a teenager living in a jar of water, staring at his own reflection, playing video games or cell phone. So when you think about the perspective of an admission officer, you don't want them to see the teenager as a selfish fish in the picture on the left. You want them to think of the students as having a wider vision, being able to see SEA, meaning SEE, see further, like the picture on the bottom, get more people involved, like the lower right corner of that picture, and make a positive impact in the world, like the upper right hand corner of the picture. 翻成汉字，你最后呢用 volunteer 跟 research 的结合，你要大学的 admission 官员想你想一个年轻人的时候呢，不要他想到你是一个井底之蛙也好，井底之鱼的自私的青少年，要像他要想你的左下角的图像一样，就是有很宽的这个看法，跟右下角的图像一样，跟这个与人一起合作，然后呢用在右上角的图像一样来正面性的改变这个世界。That's why we call this Franklin and IvyMax calls it SIR. SIR means social impact research. So to redefine the idea of service, okay, you want to think of service not as service, but service not as SERVIC, but SIRVIC, not a service, but service, in the sense that you're doing social impact research, make positive changes in the world. That's it. Thanks to Sophia, and that ends my part of the talk. Thank you.
好的，谢谢陈博士。我 echo 一下陈博士的一些观点，确实是在我们的日常工作当中，我们看到就是有很多学生，像刚才 Dr. Chen 提到的第一位，就是做了就是狗狗那个就是 research 的这个同学，他是来自于 Pleasant Center 的，所以我们邀请过他来做分享，就是你可以非常清晰的感觉到这个学生他经历过很长时间的这种锻炼以后，他的表现出来的思想的成熟度，稳重的程度，开放包容的程度，是跟其他的学生是明显有很大区别的。所以呢，这个 service 就是这个 volunteer，public service，从很多个维度上都需要。就是我们去认可它，然后需要得到家长的支持，让学生持续的做下去。好的，谢谢 Dr. Chen。那么后面因为我看到已经有一些问题了，后面的 Q&A 环节，我们一起把这些问题回答一下。
不好意思啊，Q&A 之前的环节不是还有一个？
对，我就说后面我们再来到，
对，
就是还请您继续在这个会议里面，我们一起进入到待会儿的 Q&A 环节。对，好的。好，那么我就总结一下那个今天这个整个会议当中的一些重要的观点。那么首先呢，就是说这个 volunteer 的重要性，即使在这种像 PVSA 这样的这个奖项暂停的这种前提下呢，其实学生们也是需要参与到各种义工活动当中去的，因为就像刚刚我说的哈，义工活动可以从很多的维度上去帮助学生成长，然后成熟。并且即使这个 PVSA 暂停了以后呢，刚才在这个活动当中我们也提到了，导师也提到了，还有很多可以替代 PVSA 的奖项，学生可以申请。所以学生和家长应该就是继续持续性的这个去参加那些这种高质量能够产生影响力的义工活动。所以这很重要的是一个 social impact，就是要有社会影响力。那么最后呢，就是说义工活动，还是如何和学生的学术啊、科研能力相结合。那么选择这种和学生未来相关的这种想学习的专业的这样的一类义工活动呢，还可以延伸到去做一项独立的科研。那么这种科研的成果后面还可以参加这种 science fair 或者是发表论文。那么这些呢，都是可以提升学生在申请大学当中的这个竞争力。好，后面的话呢，我简单的就是 go over 一下我们下面 winter 和 spring 马上要开展的一些活动。首先呢，就是 VerGPL，就刚才这个Dr. Chen 也讲到过的。那我们的这个冬天的活动呢，是在这个12月26号就开始了，然后为期7天，然后暑假呢是在明年的这个6月30号。下面一页呢，两个，首先说一下左边的这个，首先这个左边这个呢是IvyMax 和我们的合作伙伴叫廖100艺术工作室合作推出的这个 Winter Camp。廖100呢是一个 professional artist，他是一个职业的艺术家。他这个，我们上周呢还收到了这个廖100工作室发来的一个好消息，就是一位学生收到了洛杉矶艺术中心学院，就是 Art Center，它的这个交通设计专业的 offer。那么这个专业目前呢是世界排名第一，申请的难度其实是不亚于藤校的。所以这样的话呢，有这种艺术特长的同学们呢，可以关注一下这个 Winter Camp。右边呢就是这个刚才 Dr. Chen 介绍的这个 FRIP，就是 Franklin Research Internship Program，就是这个 internship 的成果呢，就是最好的成果是可以就学生完成一篇论文，可以去投稿啊，如果成功的话可以发表。 下面这一页呢，就是我们的这个 GPL 的活动，包括湖南和 Costa Rica，也就是我们前面这个宣传片里讲到的，和这个Dr. Garvin 和 Willem 来分享的这两个活动。这两个活动在今年的 Winter 和明年的暑假都可以报名。大家可以关注一下时间。时间上的话，今年 Winter 也是12月26号就会出发，它会跨年，在1月初的时候回到这个美国本土。下面一个呢是这个左边是AP 课程，就是有学分的 AP 课程。那么很多同学就是经常纠结说，我学校可能不能提供足够的 AP 课，或者是即使有，我也排不上，那怎么办？那这个时候就可以在校外去上这些 AP 的课程。那校外的课程有很多，比如说像其他的平台上也有一些录制的课程，但 Franklin 这个课程呢是实时的有老师的在讲授，基本就是跟着整个学期或者学年的这个进度所以是一个就非常高质量的一个校外的 AP credit courses resource。嗯，右边这个呢是 AP Review Class，就是每年的5月份就会有 AP 考试。那么为了去帮助学生们去准备这个 AP 考试呢，我们会在这个 AP 考试前8到10周，根据不同的课程，因为有些课程是学期课，有些课程是学年课。那么学年课呢会有更长时间的这个课程，然后学期课可能会稍短一些。那我们会这个组织学生会，把所有的就按照 College Board 的考点，就进行一轮 review。review 结束过以后，基本上第2周就是去考试的时间，所以这个会帮助学生在 AP 考试中取得好的成绩。下一页左边这个呢，就是 SAT Prep，就是大家可以关注一下我们在2026年即将开始的这个四个时期的课程就是因为 SAT 呢，现在有越来越多的学校开始重新要求学生提供 SAT 的成绩，在这种情况下呢，就是越来越多的学生也要投入更多的精力到 SAT Prep 当中去。右边的这个呢是预告一下就是明天还会有一个online 的 webinar，是我们跟我们的一个合作伙伴叫 Youth Horizons，他们是一个专业的做青少年演讲和辩论的这个机构，他们开设的冬令营呢，我们可以就是一起跟他们合作，这样对这个冬令营对debate 和 speaking 感兴趣的学生可以参加。好，再下一页呢，就是我们的飞达的公众号，就是我们会定期的，去更新一些跟大学申请相关的重要的信息那大家关注这个公众号就可以收到我们的这个最新的这个资讯。除此之外呢，我们还有小红书和 Instagram，大家可以扫码加入。左边是小红书，右边是 Instagram。最后这一页呢，就是我们的一个联系方式，就包括我们北加州的各 center，还有南加州的各 center，这个大家可以记下这个联系方式，可以打电话或者写 email 联系我们的工作人员，然后预约这种这个1对1的免费一次30分钟的这样的一个 counseling。然后右边这个呢是我们的一个咨询站如果是在境外的朋友看到的话呢，可以扫这个码进入到我们的这个微信群我们也会在群里定期的去更新我们的一些最新的资讯。好，那最后一个环节我们可以快进入这个就是 Q&A 的环节。那我就因为时间有限，我们大概抽取几个问题来回答一下。那么第一个问题呢，就是一个家长问哈，他的这个孩子的年级是10年级， 那么对于10年级的学生来讲，应该参加多少个 club？或者说在 club 上每周应该花多少时间呢？这个问题可以请 Dr. Chen 来回答一下。
可以啊，可以啊。这个据我的理解，是不是这个问题是说一个学生是10年级？哎，那我是用中文还是用英文回答
？Either way，就是都可以。
So
对。
my understanding is that the English, the question is that a student is in the 10th grade, and the student was wondering how much time or how many of these activities or how much time,
like how many clubs the students should join, and how many hours the students should spend on the activities.
So I'll first answer it in English, and then I will summarize my answers in Chinese.
Sure.
First, generally speaking, everybody is different. Every situation is different. It's best to have counselors from IvyMax or Franklin who help plan for the student based on the individual situations. With that said, there are some general guidelines that you can think about this. First, for example, in terms of private colleges and universities, they allow you to list 10 main extracurricular activities on the Common App, the college application. As a rough guide, okay, you want to, in my view, okay, you will want to have 2, 3, 3, 3 for each of the 4 years. Why? It's because if you put all 10 spots for these activities all for the senior years, it sounds like you are only doing it for college. It's not a sustained volunteering work. But if most of the activities is at 9th grade, it seems like you haven't done much for volunteering in the last 2 or 3 years. So it's best to have these extracurricular activities spread out throughout one's high school career. So I would say if you are thinking about 10 spots for activities, 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 10. 2 plus 3 plus 3 is 10. So 2, 3, 2 for generally speaking, 2, 3, 3, 2. Yes, these activities do overlap. They can take more than 1 year. So the years do overlap. But in my view, a rough guide would be about 2 for 9th grade, about 3 in 10th grade, about 3 in 11th grade, about 2 in 12th grade. So 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 10. Why do I say that? It's because while you are applying for college app, that will be in the beginning of your 12th grade. Whatever activity that you're putting there, you are just beginning to do it. So you don't want to. So 2 of them sounds about right. Given my experiences, the 9th grade too, generally as a rough guide, because you are just starting off from high school. You may not know enough people or have the right resources to do 5 of them at once. Okay, so 2, 3, 3, 2 is to me a solid way to go. And by the way, your what you do in 9th and 10th grades are generally much more important than 9th, 10 and 11th grade. Generally speaking, are much more important than 9 and 12. Now that would be the number of activity as a rough guide. In terms of time, okay, generally speaking, quality is more important than quantity. Quality is more important than length. But if you want to get precise, now on your application, you have to put the hours per week and weeks per year. Generally speaking, if one is high, the other one should be low, and vice versa. Summer activities typically have fewer number of weeks, but is more intensive. So you are expected to have more hours per week. On the other hand, if an activity is spread out throughout the school year, academic school year, about 9 months, from about September of the fall to about May, or June or May in the spring. Generally speaking, you want to have the number of weeks to be more. relatively more, but hours will be less because if you are doing it in the school year, it makes more sense that you are focusing on your school work and you're only doing it when you have time. It's more of a slow burn. But with that said, okay, if you want more activities, it makes more sense to do it in the summer or in the winter. It's because during the school year, they know how much work you are putting into them when they see your transcript, see your courses, and so on. Okay, so summer and winter, you're supposed to have school off. If you do summer camps or winter camps during breaks, it shows that you are genuinely like it. It shows that you really want to do those volunteering work to a point where you're willing to take away your vacation to help other people. Now, Mandarin, 总而言之，飞达或 Franklin 的 counselor 会帮你做计划，有些大规律3223这样子，你这样可以分开来，大约分活动的次数，时间呢，品质，你的义工的品质比时间重要。不过一般来讲，就是他最后会让你填几个礼拜跟每个礼拜几个小时，一个高，另外一个低，一个低，另外一个比较高。那么最好也就是说，通常在学年度的话呢，他们了解你多忙，在暑假或寒假做的 camp 的义工，有含金量，因为它表示你愿意放弃你的假日而真心的帮助别人。So yes, hopefully that answers the first question. Do you guys any other questions?
对，好的，因为这个问题其实不光是现在就是在10年级的这个阶段，就是到底应该花多长时间的问题，这个也跟后面在申请的时候，填写 COMMAP 表格也有很多关系。像我们现在在帮助学生的时候就遇到过类似的问题。好的，那谢谢。下一个问题是家长问，就是高年级的学生。是不是还适合 VERGPL？ 比如说11年级啊
，So my understanding of the question is that the question says for students at higher grades in high school,
yes, like 11th grade,
11th grade, is it still important to do VGPL, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I mean that's a very good question because VGPL is different from in-person GPL. Now they do share some similarities, but there are also important differences, and it depends on each student's situation. Some students may not be able to travel during the winter or summer breaks because of time conflicts or other personal situations. But GPL in that case serves as a solid activity. So quality is much more important than quantity. So there are various ways to make contributions to volunteering, both in person and online. 翻成汉字，10年级或11年级还是对，就是做 GPL 有帮助，是因为不管学生有没有去过面对面的这个 GPL，Virtual GPL 呢与面对面的 GPL 呢，有些地方相同，有些地方也不一样，他们都是不同的做义工帮助别人的方法。那如果某些学生因为个人的比如说时间冲突也好，个人的情况也好，不能去面对面的话，Virtual GPL 是一个很好的活动，可以在夏天或冬天做的。
对，是的，我非常同意这个 Dr. Chen 的观点，因为像11年级的学生，他们通常都会比较紧张，然后呢，这个他们的 这个时间是有限的，它不一定能够那么大量的去投入到其他的活动当中去。那么在一个 intensive 的机会能够有一个项目的话，其实可以帮助到他们，就是比较 efficient 的解决他们一些同时解决很多问题，比如说拿到了这个义工小时数啊，拿到了就是又有了 leader 经验，因为作为11年级的学生，其实他各个方面都可能很成熟了，他在这个项目里可能直接就能有一个 leadership role，所以他有 practice 他的 leadership skills，所以这就是很好。我收到有一个 GPL 是一个什么活动？这个 Trevor 老师
可以
对
，OK. So in English and well, I mean she's asked it in Mandarin, so maybe I should answer it in Mandarin. 他用汉字写说 GPL 是什么活动？GPL 是 Global P Philanthropy L Leadership， G 是全球做义工跟领导的夏令营或冬令营的活动。这个是 Franklin 跟菲达都有办的这些的活动，它里面有分几个不同项，对，像多谢Sophia， 左边这个呢是去湖南，是做跟小型贷款，这个其实这个 Katie 徐问的问题非常好啊，这个很多人可能不知道，这个小型贷款呢是菲达一开始跟一个诺贝尔赢家 Mohammed Yunus 与菲达的校长 Vicky 张他们合作，这是来办的这个 microfinance 的活动，是因为呢，这个诺贝尔赢家 Mohammed Yunus 他赢了和平诺贝尔奖，是因为他发明了这个小型贷款的私购，然后他用在这个他的本国家来帮助他们经济发展和稳定。然后呢，他这个诺贝尔赢家与菲达 Vicky 张校长合作，就让他把他的原理用在世界各地不同的这个地方。那么，在中国是湖南利用小型贷款的原理，帮一些穷人也好，需要帮助的农夫也好，让他们有自尊的方法来使得他们可以经济发展、财经上、商业上、财经上稳定。然后学生也同时学到了不同的东西，像business 的经济运作、财经原理，然后那个茶与商业的这个模拟。那么当然还有很多的这个细节。这个是湖南的中国的 GPL。那么在右边这个 Sophia 的项目也是 GPL， 是在 Costa Rica 哥斯达黎加。这个的主题是生物多元化跟环保。那么他会这个活动刚才Sophia 与那个 Dr. Garber 解释了一些不过呢，比如说里面有包括海龟的保育，对动物行为的学习，然后呢，好像就是还会让他们有就是帮本地的学生用不同的方法by the way， 右边的那个中国湖南的小型贷款，虽然是用诺贝尔赢家的原理，就是说就是菲达跟 Franklin Foundation 会提供这个小型贷款的经费资源，换句话说就是不会让学生去自己掏钱做投资，他们会都设计好。那么这个 biodiversity 在 Costa Rica 呢是学习环保运作，学习生物多元化的重要性。那么这样，然后还有一个是尼泊尔，就是今年寒假好像没有，不过明年可能有的。尼泊尔是与人权还有这个文化风俗跟经济也有点关系的，就是说，然后菲达跟Franklin好像在 Arizona 州也有另外一个 GPL， 就是 GPL 就是培养学生的领导力跟这个社会改变力。然后呢，不同世界不同的地方有不同的主题。 我不知道这个是回答的问
对，
题吗？还是
是的，是的，GPL 主要就是 Global Philanthropy Leadership 的一个缩写。然后刚才Dr. Chen 解释了三个就是 GPL 的三个项目。除了尼泊尔之外，我们还有 Kenya，对，四个，就是除了这四个以外，还有一个 Kenya，就是对，明年也是今年冬天没有，明年暑假，对的。好，那今天呢，就是因为我们的时间其实也到了啊，那我们今天的活动就到此为止。那感谢各位学生和家长的参与，好，我们期待下个月再相见，拜拜。
拜拜。需要要 stop recording 吗？还是？